Greetings Commanders, this is KreeKree here and I am an elite dangerous content creator. If you'd ever like to catch me live, you can catch me at twitch.tv/KreeKree. This is where we do our group events for killing Thargoids, killing pirates, going mining, exploring, etc. In today's video we're going to be having a look at INARA and having a look at the components and goods otherwise known as the commodities. So this is part of a series and this is episode 3, so they all kind of link together and I'll get into that a little bit later. So firstly, this here is INARA and this is the components page. So you can see here that there are a couple of tabs, so you've got components and items and data. So under components you've got all, chemicals, circuits, encoded, manufactured, raw and tech. So these are a mixture of all the materials that you need for engineering in both Horizons and Odyssey. So you can have a look at all, which has obviously all of those. Otherwise, if you're looking for something in particular and you know that it is encoded, for example, you just click onto encoded and it'll have what it is, the grade and rarity cost, what type it is, and how you're able to actually find it. So the encoded, manufactured, and raw, this is all ship-based engineering. Whereas the chemicals, circuits, and tech, this is all engineering for your suit in Odyssey. So you can have a look, obviously, the name, the grade and cost, the type, of course, and where you're able to actually find them. So with the items and data, it's kind of similar. You can see you got all, data, and items. And similar to that, you have the name, the type, and where you're actually able to find that particular thing. So for example, biological sample is an item, and you can find that at storage buildings and agricultural buildings. Now, this is super handy when you are working at engineering. So I do talk about the engineers and the blueprints involved with engineering, so both Horizons and Odyssey, in my previous episode. So if you'd like to catch up on that and have a look at exactly how this stuff relates to my previous video, I definitely suggest you go check that out. So as you can see, even with what I had mentioned before about how these are closely linked to the engineers and the blueprints, you can see here there's sub tabs here for the engineers, the blueprints and upgrades, synthesis. So this is obviously stuff that you use to synthesize, for example, more chaff, heat sinks, limpets, things like that. You can click into them and see exactly what it is that you need, and also how much you have if you've created an account. Next is the goods. As I had mentioned, this is the commodities essentially. So the sub-tabs here are the common ones, and then there's the rare commodities. So with the rare commodities, a lot of these, not all, but a lot of them are tied to getting specific things for engineers so that you can unlock them. So this is where you can find some of these. Now back in the common commodities, you can see here what the particular commodity that you're after, the average selling price, the average buy, average profit, max sell, minimum buy, and what the maximum profit is. So if you're into trading, you can have a look here to see what it is that you feel would work best for you based off what you can buy and sell. Another handy thing about this section is that if you click on the particular item that you're after, so for example tritium, wait for that to load, it'll tell you exactly where you can find what you're after. So if you want to make sure that you don't actually use a fleet carrier, you can uncheck that. If you have a medium or large ship, you can uncheck the small pads. If you don't want to land on a planet, you can uncheck that, and you can also uncheck whether they are Odyssey stations as well. And then you can see here exactly based off your current area So I am currently in Robigo. So the closest place that I can get to is HIP-17126, and I need to go to the plant terminal? Whatever. Anyway. And it tells you the pad size, the distance from the main star, how far I'll need to travel to actually get to that system, how much they have, how much they're selling it for, and when this information was last updated. Now, if I decide that yes, I want to go here, you just click onto this symbol here, and it'll get copied to your clipboard, so you can just Control V into the search bar on the galactic map for it to actually show where you need to go. So obviously that is just for the best import, so you can just go to normal imports, based off demand, best exports, normal exports, supplies, and also trade routes is actually something that is really handy. Now in the next video I will be going through trade routes and the nearest section of INARA, so make sure you keep your eyes out for that. If you found this video helpful, then make sure that you like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much, it really does mean the world to me. Anyway, here is the playlist for the INARA videos that I have. I hope you enjoy them. I'll see you over there, Commander. Fly safe.